welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands, the podcast from FITV. We will be interrupted in a minute, I will tell you that now, because people are coming in non-stop for drag tickets.
Woo! It's good news, actually. It's good. It's been selling out well. How many tickets are left?
Less than 20.
That's good. Out of 200.
Out of 200.
Ooh.
They're going like
hotcakes.
They are indeed. Anyway, listener, look who we've got back in the house.
Woo! I'm back! Finally.
It's very difficult to have a
After so
party
long.
when there's just the two of you.
I know.
Because everyone else is just, well, I won't say a word.
Abandoned us.
Yeah.
Abandoned us.
Ollie has gone to Pebble Island. You've been to Pebble, haven't you?
I've been to Pebble many times. I actually love Pebble. It's one of my favourite places. And it's really cool because you can actually drive around and there's history, wildlife, good views, mountains, all sorts.
Yeah, because that
Covers everything.
Wasn't the SAS there or something in 82?
Yes, there was some sort of a... Don't ask me historical.
No.
I'm not the history expert here. You need Ollie.
Last time you and I talked about history, we talked about 1914, this is just before Christmas, and we were saying things that actually were not true.
Factually incorrect.
Factually incorrect.
So don't take what we say as gospel.
No. A stupid question, I mean, why is it called, do they have nice pebbles down there? Is that what?
There are nice pebbles,
Yeah.
I think, from what I can remember. It was a very long time ago I went.
You need to go again.
I need to go again. I feel like someone needs to let me go to Pebble again, please. Falklands holidays. No. Plug.
Yeah, so Ollie's gone to Pebble to do the last of the filming over there. Some very good wildlife on that island. All the islands are pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
But Kathy's gone. Kathy's gone
she's
away.
finally on her holiday. She's utilising a trip scheme.
Yes.
So if the listener doesn't know about the trip scheme, Falkland Islands government have been very helpful and decided to help out the tourism industry here by chucking in some cash and allowing everyone 500 quid to go on holiday.
It's brilliant.
Which is good.
So
you can use to book your hotel and your flight and everything and your food.
It is.
And you're off as well.
Well,
soon.
Catherine, I just want to say, Catherine's parents, rest assured, she wasn't eaten by an orca last week when we were on the beach. It was so lovely. We're on the beach. So she wasn't eaten, although there were orcas off Hooker's Point apparently last night.
That's exciting.
Yeah, just as the sun was going down, there's a pod of 4 of them, I think. Oh, here we go. Here's James. Come on in.
Hello, James. How are you?
Just say hello to our listener.
Oh my God, it's evidence of having a jolly.
Oh.
Hello, darling.
Would you like to join us in our podcast?
Of course, I have 3 seconds.
Okay.
Lovely,
you look
long
very
time.
smart. You're very smart.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. That was James who just popped by. So we've just dealt with him.
We've dealt with him.
Dealt with him.
We have evacuated him from the building. What's it? Not evicted him from. Escorted him off the premises. There we go.
There we go. We were just having a quick look. We'll talk about our new venture later. But what is very clear is that both Hannah and I have got radio voices that we put on.
Yes, it's quite nice. And I think we may do it for the podcast as well.
Yeah,
kind
we
of.
probably
It's
do.
a little bit
Probably do.
overly enunciation.
Yeah.
Over-enunciation.
Yeah,
that's what
indeed.
it was.
So on this week's programme, it's week 521 for those of you who are watching along at home. We've got quite a lot of stuff in this week's programme. Quite a lot of stuff that is quite serious, haven't we? COVID and...
Who's this handsome chap that's just walked
I
into
don't
our
know.
office?
Look at him.
Do you recognise him?
He's been
Okay.
shorn.
How many weeks of a haircut was that you had before?
8 weeks.
8 weeks of long hair has been shorn.
I don't think I can spin hair, so that was a shame because I could have stuck it in with some Falklands wool. So this is what happens when you have chocolate biscuits in the office.
I know, everyone keeps coming back in for them. It's not fair. I'm going to put a padlock on our biscuit tin, that's what I've decided.
Yeah, none of the other media have chocolate biscuits, so just say that. Yeah, quite a serious programme this week. We've got quite a lot on the swab updates and the vaccinations.
COVID regulations,
the travel
things,
restrictions, Scotland lumping us in with the rest of South America. Scotland. But we've got quite a serious piece on parvovirus.
See, I've never heard of parvovirus. I don't know whether you have. I've never heard of it before. It sounds like that human papilloma virus, which is not.
It's quite a nasty disease for dogs, and in particular puppies and adolescents. But there's just been an outbreak in Goose Green, which is so odd.
How do they catch it? That's
Funny enough, Hannah, I've just listened to the piece that Catherine did, where she interviewed the vet, and the vet said it can lay dormant for quite a number of years. Apparently there was an outbreak in 2019. But the big thing is down here, if you have a puppy down here, it doesn't have to have any jabs at all. Whereas in the UK, it has to have a series
that seems
of...
strange, yeah. But
So-
they do have dog dosing for
Hydatids.
Hydatids, yeah,
Yeah.
because hydatids is the big thing down here. But
Yeah. So there's a parvovirus thing, but it's a horrible, nasty disease, virus. But the pictures we've got on top are the pictures of the only dog that we're quite happy to do, which was when I had
lovely dog.
Barney the puppy, and he was in the office. So it's all pictures of.
He looks like
of
an
lovely
Andrex
Barney.
puppy, doesn't he?
Does.
Yeah.
He's so lovely.
And we've got him
He's
running
so
down the
lovely.
corridor of the office and things. and-
Yeah, we have every so often we have a dog in. So he was lovely.
But he does not have parvovirus.
He does
just
not have
as a
parvovirus.
disclaimer.
It is just a
General dog shots.
general dog shot, and that's what we get out. The cutest, so the cutest package, but also not a particularly nice package
subject.
either. So Catherine, as you probably could tell, is not here, and she's gone off to
New Island.
New Line. Did we say that already?
We did briefly,
Okay.
but yes, she's gone to New Island.
It's Friday.
It's Friday, but she's gone for 5 days, which is quite nice.
Okay.
Bit of a long visit, and the weather's actually good because I was worried this morning. It looked like it was about to
Yeah.
rain and be awful, and I was worried that the Figas flight wouldn't go out. But
And New Island apparently is quite difficult. You've got to have a certain amount of
wind, yeah, because the runway is really short, is what I've heard.
Okay.
So you need a certain amount of wind to actually be able to land.
10 knots northerly or
Maybe.
something. I don't know. Something like that I've heard. So equally she could get there and actually not be able to get back.
Yes.
for a
Let's
little
hope not. Fingers crossed. We
Maybe.
need her.
while. Yeah. So that's why we're just on our Jack Jones today, Hannah and I.
I've got
Hannah,
tiny
who's-
violins.
So you were in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Same time as Steve was, weren't you?
Yes, it was an interesting affair. I've realised that I've actually spent a whole month solid in my house because obviously I went away beforehand as well over the summer.
Yeah.
So a whole month sat in the house, obviously not in one stint, means that you start doing things you wouldn't normally do, like making croissants and
how's that going?
baking bread. I made loads of beer bread.
Okay.
Was one thing that I found. You only need about 4 or 5 ingredients. You chuck it all in with a bottle of beer, sorted, and it tastes so good.
Okay.
So good, really easy to do, and you don't have to prove the dough or anything like that either, which works. And I think it must be the hops in the
Okay.
beer
Yeah.
that kind of helps to inflate it.
Oh, sounds interesting. I
so that
quite
was quite
fancy
good.
having a go at that.
Had to go to the garden as well, sheared the
Yeah.
garden, which
So you were in
fun.
UK, because I left the UK just as I think they'd been a week in lockdown when I left. You were in there for most of the lockdown. I mean,
Yes.
how's it going there?
you've got to make the most of the best of a bad situation. I mean, everything is shut. My hairdresser's appointment got cancelled, which I was terribly upset about. Hence why I've still got a messy haircut. And the shops are shut, so you can't really go and do any clothes shopping or stuff. A lot of it's online shopping. On the upside, Amazon's making a fortune.
Yeah.
God, there's so many people ordering things from Amazon. It was ridiculous.
I ordered from. I've been on Pinterest because I was in the UK for about 3 weeks, and I'd been on Pinterest and I found these little wooden peg dolls you can make with some felt.
Yeah.
So I bought a pack of felt and these some wooden peg dolls from Amazon. They're still sitting in my house. I had not touched them at all when
Oh, you
I
have
was
to do
doing
them.
lockdown. When I was doing quarantine.
Oh, see, I took up Lego.
Oh, did
terrible,
you?
terrible addiction. Took up Lego and didn't stop building Lego for like the whole time. But I did go outside and do lots of exercise as well with my dad, which was okay. We went on
Yeah.
the bikes and stuff. But
But when we say Lego, I mean we're not talking about
not
it's
children.
like
No, this is Lego Creator Expert range.
high-tech, yeah.
Your other half is very interested in Lego too.
Yeah,
That
we've got
kind
a Bugatti and a Land Rover at home that he did. But I noticed actually in the Stanley Services shop they've got some little
yes,
smaller packs of them. Which
That's
is great for birthdays.
But you have to have a look at the age. So it's adult Lego. There is a big distinguishing feature. Adult Lego is difficult. Children's Lego is
Okay.
not so difficult. So the one I was doing was like a crazy amount of pieces, and it takes you a full day sitting doing, and you get a
Yeah.
manual that's yay thick. I'm just
For the benefit of the tape, it's about a couple of inches.
Yeah, a really thick manual. But it's good. I think my mum got a little bit annoyed there because I left her with all the full scale Lego models
'Cause
with
it's
no
difficult,
space to put them in.
Well, it's difficult to carry. I mean, the Bugatti, Steve wrapped in
I'm
clothes
surprised he
and
brought it
stuff.
back.
Yeah, it survived.
Yeah.
It survived. Listener, I can't tell you. They had the West store, not the West store, FIC had a sale of a lot of their Airfix.
Yeah.
So we've got like 6 kits, massive kits, sitting in our wardrobe waiting to be done.
Oh, so he hasn't even done them yet.
No. So Airfix and Lego are actually they're pretty. Well, both of them are in the Stanley Services shop.
Yeah,
If you come down,
yeah.
you see, I'm plugging the Stanley.
I know, I
Services
like
shop.
that. Plug, plug, plug,
Yeah,
plug, plug,
absolutely.
plug.
They've got real minkies as well in there.
See, I don't know what a minky... Explain about this minky.
Are you not a big fan of
I'm not,
Mrs. Hinch?
Tell me, no.
No, well, Mrs. Hinch uses these minkies, like these sponge
Who is
sponge.
Mrs. Hinch?
Oh, she's like a
Domestic
cleaning.
goddess, is
She's
she?
a domestic goddess. She's a cleaning guru.
Mm.
She's absolutely fantastic. Both my girls quote her non-stop, and she uses these spongy minkies to clean the surfaces and things like that.
What?
So I
But are
found
they like
some.
a sponge, or is they a combination of two different materials?
Yeah, it's like a sponge covered in fabric, I guess. But I bought some what I thought were minkies, and my girls have decreed that they are fake minkies and not as good and won't touch them. But I've got like 2 or 3 now, real minkies, because they sell them in the Stanley Services shop.
Right, you have to show me. After this podcast has
Only
been recorded,
place.
we'll go and have a look, because I have
Yeah.
no idea what a minky is.
No, well, we'll go down there. Right, so that's that. Did I talk about having my jab last week?
No, we didn't. I don't know if you did last week, you may have done.
Because I only had it last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
had it on
vaccination
Friday.
vaccination program has been rolled out down here in the Falkland Islands. Everyone over 50 has had their vaccines.
Over 40.
And now everyone over 40.
Yeah, because they
45?
invited the 40, or was it 45?
45.
45 maybe, because they had some spare doses, so
Yeah.
they invited people of the younger age bracket to
Yeah.
join in.
So anyone who's over 45 has now had their vaccine in the Falklands
That's good.
Islands. That's great.
So you had yours, yeah.
I had mine.
How did you find it?
The injection itself is fine, and you sit there for 15 minutes afterwards. I have to say, they've organised it so beautifully. It's very, very, very well organised. As you go in and you have to read the material, you get talked about it, and then you go through to another place. You sit there, you have your jab, and then you sit for 15 minutes. And if you're okay, off you pop.
Did you find that you had any side effects? Because I know there've been a right old mix of reactions to it. Some people have found...
I had a friend
difficult.
who had flu-like symptoms afterwards. I was okay. I just felt absolutely dog-tired. And my arm, good grief, I could hardly lie on it. It was really, really quite sore, my arm was. But I just felt absolutely dog-tired. And that was it. But I know other people have had some quite nasty...
I've had night
sort of
sweats
flu,
and things. Yeah, flu-like symptoms. But I guess it's your body fighting off, your immune system fighting off
When you're
whatever
my
they put
age,
in you.
night sweats is like, you know.
That's good news, though.
Yeah, it is good news. It's gone really well. Right, let's move now on to our new venture, which if you talked to us yesterday about it, we would have no idea. But
Because
today,
we only just came up with
we've
it
only
today.
just come up with it and just gone, yes, let's run with it. So, Hannah.
I shall explain. We are going to be doing a weekly news roundup. But hopefully we will it's starting off weekly. We'd like to maybe eventually get it to a daily point, if possible. But it's literally a roundup of all the stories that are in the show with some bits of interviews from the show as well put in, but just audio. So we thought we'd give that a go and see
how it goes.
I
tell you something, I was writing the script this morning, and what I found difficult was is writing for radio.
Yes, because a listener probably doesn't know, but with this podcast, and can probably guess with this podcast, it's a bit ad-libby.
It's unscripted.
It's unscripted. It's all ad-lib. We've got a little list of bullet points, but with the weekly news roundup, we actually scripted it. So it's a bit more formal as well. I think we might end up reducing the time on it.
Yeah.
Because it might
So
be
it's a bit more
slightly too long. But that'll be on. We'll put that on SoundCloud anyway.
Yeah,
alongside
see
our
how it goes. We're just going to see how it goes. But I did notice a big difference between writing for visual, writing for TV, and then writing the same news story, but then because you've got to introduce.
Yeah. Because people can't see.
No, because you can't see that Aston bar on there that says, I'm speaking to Leona Roberts.
Yeah.
So you've got to actually introduce her. And keep introducing her.
It's good though. I think it'll work out okay. The listener will be able to be judge of that and give us any feedback as well.
Yeah, that would be lovely. That would
good.
be really nice. So at the moment, we're going for a weekly one. Or what are we going to call it?
FITV's weekly roundup.
Okay, that's what it's going to be called. And then hopefully, if it goes well and we're able to maintain it, because that's the big thing. If we're able to maintain it, well, we have done this one. Then it'll be popping out more.
Permanent.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Yeah, so that's that. We have almost reached the end of all the tickets that are being sold for the drag show.
I was going to say, do tell us, how have the rehearsals been going?
Right, well, I'll tell you now, listener, if you've got a ticket for this drag show, that very first song that comes on, there is a dance routine that we have practiced and practiced and practiced, and we all hate it because it's really complicated. So I want you sitting in the audience to appreciate that, like, 20 seconds.
I mean, Paula's actually been
You are sitting there
practicing in the office as well with a little video on her
got
phone
to.
and dancing in the mirror and things. So, and Catherine's involved as well.
She is.
First time.
Yeah, she is. She's not going to be in drag. She's going to be dressed in. Well, I'm ever so sorry, her parents, but something not a lot really, not a lot and sparkly. But she's quite happy with it.
What other job would make you have to dress like that, hey?
Well, it's nothing to do with this job really, but so I showed her the costume and her answer was, she just looked at it, she went, it's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So I said, okay, that's fine then. It's very, very sparkly, very, very sequiny.
So wear your sunglasses if you're sat in the front row.
Yeah, but please appreciate that dance routine because we are all struggling with it.
Yeah.
My girls both danced since they were like 3, so it's second nature to them. Doing dancing, and it's just so difficult.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why, listener, you probably realise I'd never get involved with any of this stuff because I can't dance and I can't remember anything.
But you sing
and my
really
memory
well.
is very
I've
bad.
Heard you sing.
No, but my memory, I don't know, I don't like being on stage. Do you remember when we did the challenge concert?
Yes.
And I got
You were
roped
quite
into being an
panicked on
elf,
that.
and I had a panic, I did. I had a little panic before I went on.
Yeah, I wondered whether you were going to go on.
I didn't want to. But then
But
I've
heard you sing, and you sing really well.
But then I don't like being on stage. I don't think it's not my. I'd rather be behind the scenes.
Okay. Well, filming it
doing
is,
the technical
is great.
stuff. Yeah, that's more my
It's
cup
lovely
of tea.
to have you filming it. Well, there's not a lot going on. Look at this weekend. Saturday,
I
blank.
like the look of
Sunday,
that.
blank.
Although
we're having
there
a
is, I
barbecue.
have been invited to a barbecue.
We're having a barbecue on
I
Saturday.
know. I got invited by your lovely other half at the last minute. He was like,
Yeah.
"Are you coming to the barbecue?" I was like,
We
"What
decided
barbecue?"
we didn't formalise it until last night when I got back, and I went, "Are we going to have this barbecue or not?" And he went, "Yeah, let's do it." So all I
Hopefully
did
the
was
weather'll be good.
I messaged everyone on the drag chat,
Yeah.
and that was it. I went, "Hey, have you invited anyone?" "Yeah, I've invited people." So that was it really.
Ooh.
Hello.
What's your role?
Our lunch has just arrived.
Yeah, lunch
very
has just
much.
arrived for us. So
By
thank
a
you very much.
nicely Sean Mann.
That's probably
you
where
very
we're going
much.
to leave it then for today.
And we've all been handed cream eggs, our
Yeah.
favourite tasty treat that's available
God,
in
it's
the
a bit
Stanley Services
sticky.
shop.
So I'm ever so sorry for the shortness of this, but tune into FITV's News Roundup, which should go on SoundCloud as well.
Yes.
And have a listen to that. Let us know what you think.
I'm going to apologise for the content of next week's podcast because it will just be... Oh no, you'll be back by Friday.
I'll be back Friday afternoon.
So
yeah?
it'll be 3 of us. It'll be okay.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll be
be
back.
all right.
Yeah. Seeing some dogs next weekend, isn't it?
Ooh.
Next Friday as well.
Very exciting.
That'd be great. Anyway, if you'd like to watch along, don't forget to log on to www.fitv.co.uk. Bye, Tom. And we're going to have our lunch now.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.